Morning everybody, and welcome to a not so sunny Staffordshire. Been a busy weekend this weekend. Spent the whole weekend doing some much needed DIY, so haven't got out walking at all. But luckily had a couple of days off work, Monday, Tuesday, and since I've caught up with the DIY, I've escaped for a walk today. So the plan is starting off on the canal, heading down here for a couple of miles, probably going down towards, well, definitely going down towards little Hayward and the farm shop area. I may or may not call in there, we'll see. So once we get there, we're going to head down, go across towards Shrugborough, and possibly a little bit further on yet, and then depending on how the weather holds up, it's supposed to be getting better. It's supposed to be cloud breaking, rain's supposed to have disappeared. It stays nice, and I'm feeling like it will go a bit further, maybe go a loop round over Cannock Chase and get back to where I parked the car at Milford Common near the entrance to Shrugborough Hall at the front. So stick with it, we'll see where we end up. See you later, folks. The Staffordshire and Worcestershire Canal runs through 47 miles of Midlands countryside, joining the Trent and Mersey Canal just north of the Shrugborough Estate, down to the River Severn at the historic Starport Basin at the Georgian town of Starport. It also links with the Shropshire Union Canal at Junction. At its heyday, it would have been busy with boats laden with coal, but now forms part of two cruising rings, and it's one of the prettiest ways to see the region. I followed the route of the canal for just a couple of miles to its junction with the Trent and Mersey Canal at Great Hayward. I'd say it's rather pleasant walking down the Canal Towpath here. Beautiful mixture of smells as you go along. You're getting the odd whiff of wood smoke from some of the boats, and then a bit of diesel fuel from the others, and then you've got the cut grass smells from the farmers mowing the field. Really is a nice mixture of outdoor smells, and all that's the experience, I think, of walking on the towpath. I always think this bridge is rather disappointing, because for some bizarre reason it's called Swivel Bridge. And you think you're going to find something exciting when you get here, and frankly it's just a bridge, and not as exciting as it sounds on the map at all. Hang on, just another brick bridge. Okay, and we're just approaching the junction. Now at the Trent and Mersey and the Staffordshire and Worcestershire, or Staffs and Worcs as it's generally known, canal here at Great Hayward. And you see the boatyard here. A lot of the holiday hires go from. I would imagine normally this time of year all them boats would normally be out, but not quite as busy as it normally is. So we're going to go eventually right here, but first of all we're going to go over the canal on this bridge we're going under, and then we're going to go and have a look at the fruit shop, fruit farm even. There you go, on just over the other side of the road there, on the side of the canal is the Canal Side Cafe, which is very good. I've set my word for it because I'm not going in there today, and also the farm shop there, which is absolutely excellent. If you're walking a long distance or you're travelling on the canal, then that has some excellent produce. Not particularly cheap, but certainly very nice. They have a good butcher's counter, deli in there, and a good selection of fresh fruit and veg. But as you can see, it's a tad on the busy side there today, even for a Tuesday, so I think we'll steer clear of that and find our way back onto the towpath. There we go now, moving away from Junction. Still a few boats, still a few barges moored up here. But as we start to get away from the Canal Junction and the farm shop and so on, it starts getting a little bit quieter. A few of these boats have shops on, as you'll see as we go along. Afternoon. Right. Okay, if we get off the towpath just there, that bridge that takes us over Essex Bridges into the Shrugborough Estate, and if we go up there and turn right away from the Shrugborough Estate, that will take us into the village of Great Hayward, which has a couple of nice pubs and a few shops, and interesting bit of information is where J.R.R. Tolkien lived for a short while, just after the First World War, I believe. So it's an interesting fact about Great Hayward, if you need one. Okay, carry on heading down here now. To our right, obviously, as I just said, is the Shrugborough Estate. We carry on down the canal. There's one or two rather nice bridges, of which we're approaching a nice wrought iron one now, which comes out of the estate and takes you into the village again. And we'll carry on down this until we get towards Little Hayward. There you go. James Brindley, the great canal engineer, planned the Trent and Mersey and the Staffordshire and Worcester canals as part of his grand cross scheme to link the River Trent, Thames, Severn and Mersey. There's plenty to see at Great Hayward, apparently, from one of England's great stately homes to quirky canal bridges. The Canal and River Trust is a charity that ensures Staffordshire canals are here for everyone to enjoy now and forever. There you go. And that's where we've come from, to the junction, and down here now to where it says "You are here." Okay, let's carry on. Okay, so here we have the first of the quirky bridges as they describe them, and footpath to the right there that allows you to get up onto the bridge, and I'll be honest, I've never gone over that bridge, so I don't know exactly where it brings you out, but it will be somewhere in the village. Railway line is just to the left as well, so as you go over the bridge, yep, it then drops into, oh, you can see that, drops into a tunnel under the railway. There we go. Out the other side, carry on down the canal and onwards towards Little. I paused to look back across the fields to the majestic Shrugborough Hall nestling in its estate, and also take in the views across the fields. The Trent and Mersey Canal runs for 93 miles through Cheshire, Staffordshire and Derbyshire, but today I was only following its course for a little over a mile, where I would exit the canal at the junction with the road into Little Hayward. I wonder if them sheep ever managed to fall in the canal. And can sheep swim? It's an interesting dilemma. Anybody know the answer? Can sheep swim? Well, there's one that's going to fall in. Will it be the black sheep of the family? Or more dirty brown colour? I don't know. Oh! Ooh. Well, there you go. Oh yeah, oh that itch, oh that fence on the itch, oh yeah, just about there, got the spot. Oh yes, that's better. That's how you get up to the itch you couldn't reach. Time to move on, I think. Okay, and that's under our last bridge on the canal. We're going to leave the Canal Towpath now and come onto a short road section. And just under there is the village of Little Hayward. White building you can just about make out on the corner as a pub. And we're not heading that way, we're heading this way, away from the village. Short road section now, and then on to Cannock Chase. Just as we're coming to the end of the road section, we come to this rather interesting bridge, which is obviously quite old. I've tried to find out something about it. It's a traditional sort of pack horse bridge design. As we go over it, you'll see it's got the little passing places built into the bridge, and over the years there's been all sorts of calls to widen this bridge, but nobody will do it. Just reading what it says here. This bridge was erected by public subscription and through the liberality of Joseph Wheatman Esquire in the year 1887 to 88. And that's as much as I know about the history of this bridge. I don't know what was here before that, if there was a similar bridge, or you know, and that bridge, the 1878 bridge, replaced that, or what, I don't know. But any reference, if you look on the internet or try and research it, refers to the Packhorse Bridge over at Essex Bridges, which we've been across on a previous video, I think. Certainly I've walked across it many times. So, crossing the main A513 now, and we're now already technically into the area of Cannock Chase. This is the Seven Springs entrance, and those of you who've seen our older videos, you'll know that we walk the chase in its various guises quite a lot. It's an area of outstanding natural beauty. There are all sorts of woodland here, ancient woodland, primarily on this side. Over towards the Birches Valley, Marquis Drive side, there's a lot more coniferous woodland managed by the Forestry Commission. This side is more managed by the Borough Council, and is managed and maintained primarily, I think, now for recreation and to maintain it. It was originally one of the King's hunting grounds. There are herds of deer that roam the woodlands, and you will see them from time to time. There's lots of other things on here as well of interest to various other different groups, and I'll pick up on that in just a moment. Yes, as soon as we enter the woodland proper, as you can see, we start going uphill, so excuse me if you can hear me wheezing slightly as I climb the first hill of the day. Yeah, so I said, over the years I've been over here many times doing all sorts of interesting things. Just over there, I don't think it's that big oak tree there, but just a little bit further up on that hill somewhere, I had my first experience of extreme ironing. We actually, a group of us rigged up an ironing board up in a tree and did some extreme ironing. If you've no idea what extreme ironing is, it's worth googling. It'll give you a laugh if nothing else. Other things that we've done up here, well, this area around Seven Springs particularly is supposedly quite rife with paranormal activity. Don't laugh. Apparently it's true. Now, a few years ago I was up here with a group of young people, and we were with a group of paranormal investigators. Yeah, as I was saying, we were up here some years ago with a group of paranormal investigators, and all around the Seven Springs area and this particular area is supposed to be rife with paranormal activity, and there are various different instruments out, EMF monitors and things, and so they're picking up all sorts of readings and getting very excited, although we couldn't actually see anything. So kids being kids as they are, one of them had a rock in his hand, and we're all sat very quietly around while these guys were playing their instruments and telling us they were getting all sorts of readings. And when they weren't looking, this kid launches this rock into the middle of their LED mesh they had to set up. LED mesh is like a dot matrix, if you like, of LED lasers. So theoretically, if you see a ghost, you get an outline. So they didn't see anything, but they heard this thud, and all went scrabbling around trying to work out what this thud was, very excited that they'd found some activity. Eventually they found this rock and picked it up and were trying to explain to us how this was absolute evidence of paranormal activity, because the rock was warm and there was no possible way it could have got warm. Apart from the fact I knew that this kid had had it in his pocket for the last half an hour, and that's why the rock was warm. And I kind of lost a little bit of credibility there. However, that said, there are all sorts of stories of sightings of various things on Cannock Chase, and very much have an open mind on these things. There is a book I've read about it. I will post the link somewhere on here under the video, telling you what the book is. It refers to the werewolf of Cannock Chase, I think it was, the pig man of Cannock Chase, and the black-eyed children, which continue to be spotted from time to time. There's also a well-documented history of UFO sightings on Cannock Chase, dating back to the 50s. There was quite a significant event where the military sealed the whole of Cannock Chase off while something was recovered on a low loader, and all sorts of conspiracy theories around that.
It's difficult to do anything with you now. Can you?
Thank you. Far too busy for my liking around there, so straight across the stepping stones, and I'm going to head up Coppice Hill now. Find a nice little spot up here to have a bite of lunch, where there's a few less people around. Onwards and upwards, eh? This, incidentally, is probably the steepest part of the walk, so Had plenty of time to warm up now, get the heart rate going, and like I say, find a nice spot for some lunch because I'm getting hungry. Well, I haven't found anywhere for lunch yet, but that's got the look of downhill, which means that's the top of Coppy's Hill, or all bar for shouting, and that wasn't as bad as I remember. So either someone's been and moved some of the hill, or I'm getting a bit fitter. One of the two. I'm still hungry. Has to be a spot somewhere for dinner. Come on, I want a tree trunk that looks like an armchair. Anybody see one? Okay, that was the top of Coppy's Hill. I say that was the death of the battery on the action cam. So unless I can charge it up when I have some lunch, we're going to be finishing off the hike using the phone. So here we go. So we're heading down now from Coppy's Hill on the Heart of England way. We're following this down. This is the old disused railway line from the days of this being the military camps up here, and the Heart of England way goes all the way down here through a cutting, comes out towards sort of the Milford side of Brockton, and then sweeps round to the right onto Milford Common, which is where we started. So we'll catch up with you from time to time, and yeah, so we'll carry on down here. We're going to have some lunch. I keep saying that we're going to have some lunch, but I haven't found anywhere yet, and it is getting on. I need to have something to eat. So as soon as I find a spot, I will stop. A nice bit of grass here. This could be the spot, I think. Decisions. Yeah, this is the one. No, it's not. This is the one. That many tracks down here, it's hard to know sometimes which is the one you're after. Right, finally found a spot for lunch, so just going to sit down, enjoy a sandwich and a bit of cheese. Okay, so I'm going to sit down and enjoy a bit of lunch. I've got to say, this tripod I brought with the camera is about as much use as a handbrake in a canoe, so this could be a short section of the video. Okay, so carrying on a bit after lunch, and that path very definitely wasn't the one I intended to take, down the old railway cutting. It's not a problem, this one pretty well much runs parallel to it, and we'll get to the same point in a slightly different way, so that's not a big problem. Colours are beautiful down here, different heathers and the gorse and things, absolutely beautiful, all the different colours. And of course, being a Tuesday rather than the weekend, it's so much quieter up here. Well, I have to say, I've been surprised by how many people I have seen, particularly around the usual honey pots. you know, the stepping stones, Seven Springs and so on. But on the whole, it's not been too bad. So here we go, this is the path we were intending to come down, and we just picked up nicely on this junction, and we will go down the old cutting down there, the dark channel in the middle, so we're off down there. Okay, so we're now walking down this beautiful little cutting, which is very obviously the path of the old railway line, and it's a nice gentle gradient downhill for me the way I'm going. If I'm going the other way, obviously it's uphill, but I always thought this was very picturesque, and long before I knew it was actually the path of the old railway, I've always thought that that's what it looked like, this huge railway line. So there you go. Carry on down here, so just about half a mile now to Milford, and just beyond there is the car, so not long to the end now. So there you go folks, just about to drop down onto Milford Common. Thank you for keeping me company on this walk. It's been a lovely day, the weather's held off. As always, if you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and keep a lookout for the other ones. Thanks for watching folks, it's been great to have you along. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.